2. Screw Earth. Good enough. All right. God, I'm going to kill myself. Welcome back to the Clean Slate Video Club. I'm your host, Carson Phillips, here with Daniel Garza. We meet once a week to talk about any movie, various movies, any genre. You know, we have our favorites, though. And historically, Daniel's been kind of anti-science fiction. So, did this movie, Project Hail Mary, did it win him over? It's one of the biggest movies of the year so far. I mean, it's only, what is it, March? It's barely April. It's almost April, but
it's barely April.
Project Hail Mary has done pretty well, so we're going to talk about it a little bit. And yeah, let's hear that log line.
All right, guys. So here's the log line for Project Hail Mary. And guys, if you haven't yet, subscribe. Do yourself a favor. If you want more content, more movie content, reviewing content, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and also click the notification bell so you are aware every single time we post. All right, here's a log line. A science teacher wakes up alone on a spaceship. As his memory returns, he uncovers a mission to stop a mysterious substance killing Earth's sun, and that unexpected friendship may be the key.
This is pretty good. Before we jump into our breakdown of this, a little background on the movie. It was based off a novel by Andy Weir. He also wrote The Martian, so there's some similar story beats and stylistic things that you will notice. And it's also from the directors of Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. They did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Peak, the Lego Movie, Peak-ish, Spider-Verse, and the 21 Jump Street movies. So
honestly, that's not a bad filmography list.
I love these guys.
Those are pretty decent movies.
Yeah, they were supposed to make the Star Wars Han Solo movie, but they got kicked off the movie because they were doing too much improv. But after watching this, I really wish, I don't know, an alternate reality got that movie and they were blessed. So, anyways, great directors. Let's talk about this movie.
All right, guys. So, pretty good cast here. We got Ryan Gosling, Sandra Hüller.
Ooh.
And then actually, if you if you didn't notice, there the AT&T lady that does all the AT&T things, she was in this movie. Very random. I just looked at the credits. I was like,
the AT&T lady. What are you talking about?
Yeah, she promotes all the AT&T phones and services and different.
Who
things
was she?
Like
was she one of the astronauts?
Yeah, she was one of the other astronauts.
Now that you say that, that is clicking in my brain.
Yeah.
Good for her. She got her first big role.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, getting started right away, I loved this movie. Really great film. I enjoyed practically every aspect of it. In just the terms of, the unlikely friendship, I think is obviously what carries the film.
Yeah.
And it is an emotional journey through and through. You get a lot of friendship, you get a lot of betrayal, you get a lot of, self-discovery. So, in terms of, a character study, I think this movie hits, right on the head.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, a couple of the, going down our list of ratings. Acting and performances. Starting off with Ryan Gosling, and then I would say the next, her name is Eva.
Yeah, the main scientist lady.
Yeah, the scientist lady who kind of recruits Ryan Gosling.
Played by Sandra Hüller.
Yeah, I know.
I have no idea how to say that.
It's a fun name. I don't know, dude. I thought the acting performances were top notch here.
Even
especially
the side
for
characters, I feel
Eva
too.
Yeah,
they were all really.
Yeah,
Eva Strat as a character was really well written, but the performance was good too.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of subtle, I would say, but I liked it.
Well, there's also a big bit of mystery in there too. That I don't know. She carried the mystery really well.
Yeah, I could see that.
I will say with Ryan Gosling in a movie like this,
it's so easy for him.
This isn't Fall Guy. I think. Well, hold on. So Fall Guy, I think, is his bread and butter. He eats that up. Nice Guys, it's his bread and butter. He eats that up. He's a good supporting actor, kind of to his leading people.
I see.
In this one, I was a little bit like, it wasn't a miss by any means, but I don't think it was his best.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't say it's his best when you have a movie like Drive, but
oh well, yeah, but I mean, Drive, he doesn't even say anything.
But his best role ever, or even like him playing Ken in the Barbie movie, like he kind of crushes that. So this isn't like proof that he can act or anything like that, but I think he does a serviceable job, and he's like charismatic in the movie. And could someone else have maybe played this role just as good? Maybe, but I think
other people could have played this role better,
but I don't know if it would be as successful, to be honest. Like if you threw in like a
maybe not,
like a Zac Efron.
Okay, no, we're not throwing in Zac.
Who would you throw in? Who do you think? Andrew Garfield. That probably would have been great.
Andrew Garfield, I actually think could have played.
He probably would have done it better, but unless it's Andrew Garfield, I don't know. I think he does a great job still.
But Andrew Garfield's not a leading face anymore. Like he was, but he I mean,
not like Ryan. Less of a draw.
Yeah, not
less
like
of a
Ryan.
draw.
Anyway, okay, so I'm giving acting and performances, especially by the Rock puppet.
Yeah,
the Rock acting was really good.
Who played the Rock? It is a puppet too, which is awesome.
Yeah, it is It is James Ortiz. He was Rocky. But that might have just been the voice.
Okay, it was so good. And then you even have like Meryl Streep's voice for a minute, which is funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
They should have thrown in like a Morgan Freeman too. But
you know what is funny is like people glaze Meryl Streep like they glaze Beyonce in the film industry. Like,
yeah, she's fine. She has some good roles, but she's not like the greatest.
I'm kind of wondering if it's the whole thing, like you have to pay your dues to Meryl Streep, like, you know.
Yeah, yes, you have to bow down before she like comes for your soul at night. That's why we haven't made it, Daniel. Meryl Streep, we love you.
We love you, Meryl.
Yeah, I think all the acting's great. All the side characters with what's the security guard, I think is even kind of great in this. Like, there's some funny moments with him. Carl, played by Lionel Boyce.
Yeah,
he's fun. Yeah, and then obviously the puppet kills it. Best puppet I've seen in a minute.
Okay, so acting and performances, I'm giving 4 out of 5.
I agree. Yeah, 4 out of 5.
Okay, now let's move on to the story and writing. Overall, I think this is a really cool. It's not an original story, but it's a really good take on a story of like saving the earth, but also friendship. It's kind of the thing of like that age-old test, like would you save one or would you save millions type of deal. Like where's that like kind of philosophically sit in your brain? Is that the right word there?
You're on your own, dog.
Whatever. Anyway, so I think story and writing was pretty unique here. Even though it wasn't super unique, it's got a different enough flavor to it that makes it like stand out.
Similar story that we've seen before, but like the execution is completely different. Like we talked about with like Interstellar off podcast. It is a kind of similar story in a lot of ways, but the tone and the heart of it are just, they're kind of opposite ends, but telling a very similar story in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I would say Interstellar is a little bit more grounded in like
science,
reality, if you can say that a little bit.
Although this wasn't like too far out there either, which is crazy to say when there's a whole rock man as a main character.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like
and a whole
Star Wars.
Like rock community that exactly. Yeah. So anyway, for story and writing, I'm also giving a 4 out of 5 here.
Yeah, I love this story. I think, I mean, this might get into pacing and stuff kind of in a way, but as far as like the story structure goes, it's really unique as far as how, like, if you were to do like a breakdown of the structure of the story, it has like 2 act 2s and like act 3 has 3 parts. So you could maybe complain about that, but I actually kind of found it interesting, like, to see, because it took me off my feet a little bit where I was like, what's going on here? Like, where are we going? I also usually hate the usage of flashbacks in movies. I think it is overdone and done kind of poorly usually. The way it was done in this story, I think it actually worked really well, because it kind of made it seem like, oh, he's remembering this, and it's like actually works within the main plot too. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of how I felt about it. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5, maybe 4.5 out of 5, because it was fun.
Okay. All right, now cinematography and visuals here, I thought was very jarring
Really?
and kind of threw me off
Okay,
a lot. That's not a bad thing though.
Oh, I see.
So when he's in the spaceship and he's like at the intro of the movie, he's just trying to find like his bearings and everything, and it's showing all these different camera angles. I was getting kind of like,
dizzy.
Whoa.
Yeah. I had a few of those moments.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because like the way they shot it, it wasn't like a standard, like one shot and they're just tracking with him. It's like, kind of it's kind of like set shots.
Yeah.
To where you're more in the elements than you are with him a lot of the times. And they do that often. Now, that's just one instance of how I thought the cinematography was really like differently used here, but at the same time, like even the space shots too, like it didn't feel super bad like animation or whatever.
No,
and
good.
I would say
I think
it's
they
even
used
beautiful
a lot
too.
of practical effects in this movie, from what I understand. I know there is some CGI, but there's no green screen, no blue screen. So there is CGI, but yeah, they definitely used a lot of practical effects in the filming. And this cinematographer, what's his name again? Greg Fraser is kind of like the best in the industry right now, in my opinion. Like he's done Lion, Rogue One, Vice, Dune, The Batman, The Creator, Dune Part 2. He's doing the Beatles movies that are coming out. Like this guy's Zero Dark 30 back in the day,
Wow.
Foxcatcher. So I think he knows his stuff, and the way he this doesn't feel like the same thing as like what he did in Dune either. It feels different.
Yeah,
You're not.
it's got its own like kind of
visual
DNA
language,
to
yeah. And like you were saying, like the dizzying kind of moments, like when he's there's a great moment where he's spinning in space, and then it transitions to the past where he's spinning in a chair, but the angle still hasn't gone back to normal. And I was like, oh, but it looked visually stunning. Like I was like, this is really beautiful. I just want to barf. So that's a compliment to him. But I think visually, this movie is damn near perfect. Honestly, I'm going to give it a 5 on the visuals because I think it was visually really stunning.
I think I'm going to go 5 also. It's really good. You know what's funny is the guy who edited this movie, Joel Negron, did Thor Ragnarok, Cocaine Bear,
Wow.
Transformers, Rise of the Beasts, Jungle Cruise.
What in the
He also
world?
did 21 Jump Street, The Nice Guys, Pain and Gain, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
What a crazy
dude, this guy is
catalog.
his
Some of those are really
editing,
bad
like,
movies.
but some of them are really good. Like Thor Ragnarok. It's one
Yeah.
of my favorite Marvel movies.
That's interesting. I mean, I feel like to be an editor at this level, you have to be pretty competent, right? So
Yeah.
even for like a bad
Well, this
movie.
one is a
The editing's good
Yeah.
in this movie as well. I don't know if that's something that we score, but it
well,
pretty
we do
seamless.
kind of editing and pacing.
Okay, let's get into that.
So we gave cinematography and visuals. I think our first 5, honestly. I don't know if we've ever given a category a 5, but it's really good. So editing and pacing. This is actually the biggest ding on my score here. Kind of opposite to what you said.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I could tell.
With the pacing, I thought this movie could have been about 45 minutes shorter. For some reason, I don't know if it's the fault on the marketing team that was advertising this film everywhere.
Yeah.
And but I knew so much about this movie before going into
Yeah.
it. So to spend almost an
Before
hour
Rocky
setting
shows
up
up.
the film, yeah, I was like, dude, can we just get to it already? Like, we already know what's... And so, again, I don't think that's necessarily a ding on the movie, but it is a ding on marketing and advertising. Because, if you had watched anything, remotely big on TV in the time of this being advertised, let's say the Super Bowl or whatever, you saw at least 3 or 4 trailers of it during the Super Bowl. So you're even, in the first trailer, you knew what's going to happen, or you know the premise of it. So this is the part that, it took me out, because the intro of the film is so long. And then finally, when we get to the actual, friendship, and we get to Rocky, and we get to, what's actually happening, it just took forever to get there.
Okay.
And I was just kind of okay, finally. But I would say that's the biggest ding on the movie for me, is just, the pacing of it felt... And also... Here's the thing, with the flashbacks, in terms of the flashbacks, I think we could have done away with them. I think if you would have done it in sequential order, it would have... If it was in sequential order, it would have been really good. Maybe one flashback to show the big reveal.
I was going to say that plot twist alone makes the flashbacks kind of worth it for me.
I see your point.
And then the whole like amnesia subplot or whatever, I kind of like that too. I think it's kind of interesting.
They just didn't play into the whole thing of like, who am I? Like type of deal.
Yeah,
like,
you don't need
I
to,
think
though.
it lasted for like 2 minutes. Exactly, so then why have it in there?
Because I think we get context of the world, like what's at stake, I guess, is kind of nice. Because if it happened before, then that build up to Rocky showing up would be so long, and then the parts with just him and Rocky would feel repetitive, I feel like. So I kind of think the flashbacks break up the pacing a little bit to where it doesn't feel like nothing is happening for too long. I will say the build up to the reveal of Rocky still is super long, especially because he was marketed pretty hard. Because I only watched the teaser trailer, and then I watched a thing of him and Ryan Gosling talking about the movie, which was really weird.
Yeah.
But so I knew
what
was coming, so I was like kind of waiting for it. But Alyssa knew nothing about this movie. So I told her, I was like, hey, there's like a rock creature that shows up I think you'll like. And then we're watching the movie, and I'm like, when does he show up? And am I going to lose my wife in this movie? And she actually really enjoyed the pacing, which I thought was interesting. I did too. I will say towards the end, with the fake ending like 10 times, is a bit much. But I found
there was like 3 or 4 false endings.
Yeah, and also I cried a lot in this movie. And by the time the third time I thought Rocky was gonna like die, I had no tears left in my body. So I was like, the emotional weight wasn't hitting as much anymore because it already happened a few times. But I also don't know how else you would do that. Like I kind of enjoyed all those endings, and I do feel like it probably is more faithful to the book in that way. I haven't read it, but that felt like a book thing, where you have like this avalanche of endings. Possibly. That's what a lot of books do. I liked it though. I won't give it a perfect score for pacing though. I'm going to give it a 4. I think the editing is great though, so I don't want to ding it for that either.
I'm going to give it a 3 on this one.
Valid.
The editing is good. I think it's just the pacing for me. And I think you've swayed me. Your point is the intro is very long to get to what we all, I think, really wanted to see. And, real quick, going back to performances on this one. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed it, but Ryan Gosling does this weird thing with his voice throughout, like, half of the movie where it's all grungy and, it, like, okay, rock. Like, I don't know what it was. He sounded a little bit like Woody or Buzz Lightyear or something. It sounded really weird to me. I talked to my friend about it, and he was like, yeah, no, I did pick up on that, too. I was like, okay, good. So I'm not alone in this. Anyway, so
I think he just needed a Ricola, dude. He just needed a Ricola.
There we go. All right, we get some new jokes in here. By the way, guys, we are re-recording this part because my mic died, and
we messed up.
Yes. So, guys, here is emotional impact and overall. This movie, I believe it's just one of those things where it knocks on all things that you want in a friendship movie, right? Like, we're saving the world, but it's almost like that becomes secondary in this film, and it becomes more so
like the relationship is more meaningful.
Yeah, and then you start to pick out on themes of like, I don't know, like sacrifice and selflessness, and like, okay, so spoilers ahead. If you haven't seen this movie, just pause it here because I am going to spoil something. Like the part where Rocky literally sacrifices his entire self because he can't be in the same
Dude, I thought he was
atmosphere. I thought he was going to die too.
I thought he was going to become gas.
Yeah.
Because, like, he's like, oh, that's not... Why is it a solid? I was like, oh, no.
Right. So, I was just kind of like... It broke me so bad to a point where... that's where I started crying, was when he sacrificed himself. And because once you find out about his backstory, too, and, like, how he saw everybody else go...
So sad.
It just hurts your heart on another level. So, Again, I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if I'm writing the coattails here because of the emotional high that we're on from like cinematography and everything. But I will say the emotional side for this is 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I would say 5 out of 5 as far as emotional impact goes. I cried so much. I was looking over at my wife and she was crying and I was crying. And then, like I said, I ran out of tears. And when I left the movie theater, my eyes were like my eyes still kind of hurt. I'm not even lying. Yeah. Like I watched it last night, and they're like dry.
Yeah,
I haven't cried maybe in a little bit or something, but
yeah,
it was intense. So be prepared if you're emotional and babies like we are.
Right. Well, so I think that this movie overall is a 4 out of 5 for me. It's so good. I mean, the really only complaint I had is it takes forever to get into. especially while knowing what the story is about. Most people, I would say, if they watch TV,
I gave it a 4.5.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. It does take a minute to get into it, but guys, it is so worth it. So if you haven't yet, go see Project Hail Mary. It will be worth your while. It's worth the money.
Especially on the big screen. I think this is a big screen movie.
Yeah.
It was shot for IMAX, so if you're IMAX inclined, give that a shot.
If you're an IMAX identifier, this is a good one.
If your pronouns are I/Max, this is for you.
Anyway, guys. Well, we're kind of doing things out of order a little bit this next couple of months, just in terms of movie of the month and real versus real and our themed movies. They will be a little bit out of order, but we are dedicated to giving you a movie every single week, so that won't change. But some things are maneuvering around here for half of our team. So we are going to be doing the next 2 weeks. We're going to be doing Jim Carrey movies. So we will be. We picked out 2 movies already for him. I actually am a little bit. I watched the trailers of these, and I'm a little bit worried.
Okay, it's okay. Jim Carrey's going to be on the pod with us, I think.
Yeah, so. We got Jim Carrey to come in, so we're going to ask him the hard-hitting questions. Was that really you at the awards? Was it the Oscars or wasn't the Oscars?
It was the Golden Globes or something. I don't
know. Anyway, we will be doing that, and then we have our big hitter of Real versus Real coming out at the end of the month, too. So, guys, you won't want to miss it. Do yourself a favor. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know when we post. And then also go give us 5 stars on wherever you can listen to a podcast, because we post all those places, too. Carson actually has to update all those. But we post on there, too. So anyway, guys.
I try.
So thank you so much for being a part of the club. Be kind, rewind, and we will see you next week. Peace.
Peace.